All right. Here to do something very important today. Well, to say the least, the clock has been ticking. We all know school starts tomorrow. We have for weeks been concerned as public servants and as parents about our children's safety on the first day of school. And for weeks and weeks, there was inaction in the state Senate in Albany. We pleaded, all of us pleaded repeatedly with the state Senate to take action and protect our kids. And those pleas on behalf of our children fell on deaf ears. So it was time to take matters into our own hands. And I want to thank and congratulate everyone here today for all the good work we did together to get us to this moment, to make sure our kids would be safe tomorrow and all the months ahead. The fact is, this effort, I think, was extraordinary. This is an issue that really came down to the basics. Were we going to do something to protect kids? I want to tell you the voices that we heard, and I want to thank them here because their work was extraordinary. I want to thank Families for Safe Streets for their extraordinary advocacy. And I want to thank Transportation Alternatives for all they did in defense of our children. Your advocacy and all the other family members who went to speak to the senators in Albany, everyone who's been part of this movement, I want to tell you, you have changed the course of history. Because for a long time, the idea that was the conventional wisdom was that speed cameras were politically unpopular. But you made it a matter of life and death because it is a matter of life and death. You explained to the people of this city and this state that this was about protecting children, and you changed the entire discussion. And now what has become clearer and clearer to the people of New York City and New York State is that speed cameras save young lives. The numbers are astounding. In the school zones where we've had the speed cameras, speeding violations are down by almost 2/3, 63% reduction in speeding around our schools. And the statistic that should be the single most important to us because it means human lives, 55% fewer fatalities when speed cameras are present, saving lives. So to me, it was a no-brainer that we needed these speed cameras. In fact, that we needed to go farther with them. And I asked as mayor, the council asked for Albany to not only renew the speed cameras program, but to expand it. This is what all of the advocates and the family members have fought for. This is what we've fought for. And I want to give credit where credit is due. The Assembly agreed and voted for that legislation. And we need to really give them credit. They stepped up. The governor said he was ready to sign it. There was only one piece missing from the equation, the state Senate. Look, I cannot understand any kind of politics that stands in the way of protecting kids. I cannot understand any political calculation that somehow puts partisan interests ahead of the needs of kids. But we know we here in New York City are not going to let that stop us. We're going to take action here today. I want to thank Speaker Johnson and the council for their extraordinary work. Let's give them the round of applause they deserve. And I want to say that even though this is not the way we would like to see government function, in the end, justice has been served. By the stroke of a pen today, we're going to set things right and further the movement to protect our kids going forward. Because this is one of those moments in history where a lot of people are waking up and they're realizing there's more we can do, and together we're going to do that. Let me say a few words in Spanish. Mañana, más de 1 millón de niños empiezan un nuevo año escolar en nuestra ciudad. Hoy aseguramos que tengan las cámaras de control de velocidad allí para protegerlos. It's as simple as that. Now our kids and our parents, our families will know the cameras will be there to protect them. And giving credit where credit is due, I want to turn to the Speaker of the City Council, not only to thank him and the members of the council, but the staff of the council too, who really worked hard to innovate a solution. This took a lot of creative thinking, but we found the right way to get this done. And he is also the sponsor of Intro 1089. Speaker Corey Johnson.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It is so good to be here for this bill signing today. I am extraordinarily grateful to be here, and I am so happy that we all got this done. If I am being honest, I have to say that I wasn't always certain that we could make this happen. When the speed camera law expired, I think like a lot of people, I assumed that the state Senate would eventually step up and do the right thing. I'm as jaded as the next New Yorker, but I really thought that this was a no-brainer. Speed cameras, kids, safety, schools. I was wrong. The Republican State Senate refused to step up. We held rallies, we signed letters, we wrote op-eds, we tweeted, you name it, we did it, and they didn't listen. So we had to get creative. And we really did get creative. The staff at the City Council worked literally around the clock, searching for solutions to the impending crisis, 1.1 million children starting classes with no speed cameras outside of schools. As the mayor said, we know that speed cameras save lives by changing driver behavior. 80% of drivers who receive one speed camera ticket never get a single ticket again. So we had to do something, and everyone started to work to think of something, which is how we came up with the law that Mayor de Blasio is signing today. I really want to thank everyone at the City Council, especially the chair of the Transportation Committee, who has stood with transportation alternatives and Families for Safe Streets for years. He's been a leader on everything Vision Zero related, the chair of our Transportation Committee, Adonis Rodriguez. And I particularly want to thank two staff members, Rob Newman and Kelly Taylor, who just worked on this 16 hours a day for 2 weeks leading up. Rob was driving his son to Ohio for his freshman year of college to say goodbye to his son, and he spent most of that time on the phone working to get this done. So I want to thank them for their real incredible efforts. I also really want to thank Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo. This was a team effort. You know how they say it takes a village. This took a few villages. And the mayor and the governor have both been longtime proponents and supporters of renewing, strengthening, and expanding this law. I want to thank Speaker Carl Hastie, Assemblywoman Deborah Glick, whose bill this was in the Assembly, which passed, and State Senator Brad Hoylman, who carried this bill in the State Senate. I knew this was important, and I knew how much I wanted this to happen, but the significance of this legislation really came home to me, and I think to all of us, at the hearing that we had, the special hearing that we had on the speed camera bill last Tuesday. I was so moved, so incredibly moved by the testimony from people, some of whom are here today, who lost loved ones in traffic crashes. I was even more inspired by the fact that they then went on to bravely fight for safer streets. I heard the stories of Lizzie Rahman, who's here, who told us about her son, Asaf Rahman, and his dreams of being a music teacher. Those dreams ended when he was killed by a truck. I heard the story of Sophia Russo, who I believe is not with us today, who lost her 4-year-old daughter, Ariel Marina Russo, and described to all of us in the council chamber the horrible, horrible feeling of coming home from the hospital without her baby, a home filled with toys her daughter would never play with again. I heard the story of Jane Martin Laveau, the mother of Leonora Laveau, who told us about her last conversation with her daughter, who was attending Brooklyn College, and about having to break the news of her death to the rest of their family. I heard the story of Debbie Kahn, who's here, mother of Seth Kahn, and her husband's here as well, who described losing her only child and the enduring pain of knowing that Seth will never get married or dance with her at his wedding. I heard the story of Mary Beth Kelly, who's here, the wife of Henry Carl Knock. She remembered watching a tow truck run down her husband, who died 3 days later. He was a physician, a marathon runner, a soccer coach. He was 56 years old, and he was in the prime of his life. And we heard from Rita Baravecchio. She is the aunt of Madeline Serson, who was only 17 when she was hit and killed by a car just steps away from an elementary school in June. I sat there and I listened, and I was so unbelievably moved by their words and by their bravery. You will inspire me and everyone at the council and everything that we do going forward, and I sincerely mean that. I don't just speak for myself, I think I speak for the entire staff at the City Council. We talked about how wonderful you all were afterwards and how much it meant to every single one of us. Rob Newman, who I mentioned earlier, my special counsel, who was doing conference cars in the car while dropping his son off at college, he sent Sophia Russo's testimony to his son and said, here's what all the fuss was about when I was driving you to college.
Amen.
So I want to thank you. I want to thank all the advocates who fought for this. I want to thank Families for Safe Streets, with a special shout out to Amy Cohen and Joan Dean, who lost their beautiful son and grandson, Sammy. And I want to thank Transportation Alternatives and Paul Steely White for always holding our feet to the fire and making sure that we do the right thing. I know I speak for the mayor, for the governor, for Adonis Rodriguez when I say what we did was easy. You all are leading a movement, and we thank you. Thank you for channeling your unspeakable tragedies into action, into results that will save lives. This is why I ran for office. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And for everyone, this hearing, we're going to move it along quickly because it is very important we get the signed legislation to Albany so it can go into effect immediately so that we can protect our kids tomorrow. So I'm just going to do a few official functions here as part of this so that we can complete the process and make this law. First, to define the bill. Intro 1089 revives our life-saving school speed camera program just in time for the first day of class. It restores the city's authority to fine drivers who speed in school zones. It extends Department of Transportation's power to enforce speed limits around schools at more dangerous times of the day. And it allows us to put cameras near many more schools beyond the 140 served today. And that's important, isn't it? That's important. I want to thank everybody who has been a part of this process in my administration, including two people who really have led the way in Vision Zero, and a lot of people in the beginning did not understand how crucial a role they would play. But Police Commissioner Jimmy O'Neill and Chief Tom Chan, who's here with us, have been real leaders in the effort to achieve Vision Zero. I want to thank you, Chief, and thank the Commissioner. Of course, our Transportation Commissioner, Polly Trottenberg, for her and for her team, Vision Zero is something that they have brought to life all over the city. Thank you, Commissioner, for all you have done. And no one cares more about protecting our kids tomorrow than the man who has the responsibility of making sure 1.1 million kids are safe and are educated as best we can. Our Chancellor, Richard Carranza, thank you. So what we're going to do before we hear from other speakers up here, we're going to move forward the process of testimony and signing the legislation so we can send it right away to Albany. We are literally racing the clock right now because we want to get this in play immediately. So we're going to hear public testimony. I'd like to call to the microphone there. Of course, Amy Cohen of Families for Safe Streets. Zane Walker of Families for Safe Streets, and Beth Finkel of AARP.
It is 1,792 days since I kissed my 12-year-old son goodbye in the fall of his 8th grade year. Many of you have heard me talk about Sammy. For nearly 5 years, you have heard me describe what loss means to a parent whose child has died. But today, on this momentous day, I would like to share some words from Sammy. A month before he died, he wrote an assignment for school about his name. I want to read a small excerpt to you because it tells us a lot about what it means to be a leader. I am Samuel, the one who God heard. Cohen, the one who with my family and ancestors led a religion. Eckstein, the corner that has to support everybody while withstanding pain and sorrow. My name means pretending times are good when they are bad. It means leadership, and it means pain. My name was chosen because it sounded like happiness, but that happiness put an invisible weight on my shoulders, the weight of leadership. I like my name. I just can't imagine myself as a Jacob or a Luca. I'm a Sam, that's just who I am. I used to prefer Sammy, but now it sounds too young and childish. Sam is more substantial. My real name is Samuel, but that is such a religious name. I am neither Samuel nor Sammy. They are too extreme. I am in the middle. I am Sam. I am like a lake. I am pure and simple. But if you look in the right places, you can find a lot beneath my surface. Sammy could have taught us a lot about leadership, but sadly, we can only learn from his legacy. He was wise beyond his years. He understood that being a leader sometimes means looking below the surface, coming up with creative solutions, bearing the weight of society's problems, and finding a way forward. Today, I would like to thank the many leaders like Sammy who got us to this place. The mayor, the speaker, the governor, transportation alternatives, the hundreds of organizations who have stood with us, and the courageous FSS members who have poured out their hearts each and every day. But today, I would most like to thank my brave son, who was on the cusp of becoming a young man named Sam, but who died still as a child named Sammy. He inspires me every single day.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you so much, Amy.
Hi, my name is Zane Walker, and almost 5 years ago, my good friend Lucian Merriweather was killed by a reckless speeding driver. Tomorrow, I'll be starting high school. Lucian should have been starting this next chapter too, but of course he won't be, because drivers value their time over children's lives. This is why we had, and soon will have again, these speed safety cameras. They save children's lives. It is statistically true. The deaths near these cameras went down by more than half. Injuries were way down, and these are areas where kids walk to school every single day. Is there anything more we need to know? And because of these facts, and especially because of the amazing work of the people at Families for Safe Streets, Mayor de Blasio, Speaker Johnson, and Governor Cuomo have joined together to save these cameras and, in turn, have become New York City heroes. What you did was amazing. It is exactly what we need lawmakers these days to do: overcome petty politics to protect the vulnerable, to protect the future. Thank you, but Albany still needs to do the same. This is just temporary. The Senate needs to take the necessary steps to protect the people they are here to serve. Be a part of this amazing move, senators, and go one step further. Expand the number of cameras to protect all New York City school children. Get past the nitty-gritty politics and do what is right. Do what kids need. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Beth Finkel. I'm the state director for AARP New York, and I'm here today representing the 800,000 members that are here in the 5 boroughs and the 2.6 million that live in New York State. It's a heavy mantle to carry, and you might wonder, why is AARP here? Why are we a part of this group? And why am I up here advocating today? And the answer is because although New York, 65 plus make up 14% of New York City's population, over 50% of the fatalities that happen to 65 plus. So we are important advocates on this, and also because it's our neighborhoods, our friends, our family, our grandchildren that this is affecting. And so we are here to stand up and, first of all, so wholeheartedly thank the mayor for taking a leadership position on this, and to the speaker, Corey Johnson, who's just, this was amazing that you did this, and to the council members. But more importantly, and also to the governor for taking this leadership position too. But more importantly, we are here to say, just as Zane did, that this is not over. This is the beginning. This was a temporary help to this, but this does not make it permanent. We need to make it permanent. We need to expand it across the state in other places that it's needed, and we cannot be complacent about it. So I'm calling on the state Senate here today to stand up with the rest of us, and show that you want to protect people of all ages across all of New York State. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Excellent. Well, Beth is exactly right. This is a beginning. This is a beginning, and we have a lot more work to do ahead, and I think everyone in this room is motivated to do that work. But what we're doing today helps protect kids here and now. I really want to say a profound thank you to everyone who just spoke. Zane, I want you to know you're right. This is an example of government actually doing what we're here to do. I want to give a lot of credit to the council, a lot of credit to the governor. Everyone figured it out. Everyone said we're not going to let one body of government stand in the way of the thing we need to do. And it is a moment we can all learn from. And Amy, that was an incredible, incredible passage that Sammy wrote, and he is a leader. We're feeling his presence here today, and this also is because of him. So with that, everyone, it's time to sign this bill so we can get it to Albany immediately. Anyone wants to come up, gather round. And then we'll hear from the other speakers. is good. This bill is now law. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations. God bless you.
We have what we wanted. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. We want to hear from a few more of the folks who are here, and everyone here today has been part of achieving this important act for protecting our kids, and we're all going to be part of going farther going forward. I want to turn to the man again who's responsible for all our kids every school day, and he needs to say his remarks and get back to preparing for the first day of school. So we're going to give you a hall pass after this. Our Chancellor, Richard Carranza.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to also add my voice to all those that have thanked the families for their incredible stories, and we feel your loved ones with us. I want to give great thanks to Mayor de Blasio. Thank you to our governor, Governor Cuomo, and to our incredible speaker, Speaker Johnson. I almost was going to tell a joke. What do you get when you put a governor, a mayor, and a speaker in a room? You save lives.
Amen.
And that's exactly what's happened here in our Councilman Rodriguez. Thank you for being here, and everyone else that is here today. The cameras are not just a symbol of safety. They save lives. As students leave their homes tomorrow on the first day and travel to school and back from school to home, we can rest assured that this important safety measure will be in place to keep our children safe. We are excited to kick off this school year, my first school year here in New York City, and I could feel no more confident than knowing that we have this valuable device to help assure the safety of our children. Nothing is more important to the safety than the safety of our children, and this is an important tool that will help us accomplish just that. Thanks again to the City Council for acting quickly to make this happen. Thank you to our mayor for his leadership, and thank you to the governor for seeing the better of policy. I want to wish all students and families in the New York City school system a safe and exciting start to the school year. Una palabrita en español. Muchísimas gracias a nuestro alcalde, el señor de Blasio, el speaker, el señor Johnson, y a nuestro gobernador por actuar de una manera tan rápida para asegurar el bienestar de todos nuestros estudiantes un día antes de que empiecen las clases en Nueva York. Esta es una cosa importantísima para asegurar el bienestar de nuestra comunidad, y como el canciller de las escuelas le doy de parte de 1.1 millones de estudiantes mis más sinceras gracias. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chancellor. You are now excused. With that, thank you. With that, I want to turn to another great Vision Zero believer, our Transportation Commissioner, Polly Trottenberg.
Is this on? Yes, it's on. I want to thank you, Mr. Mayor, for your leadership. Thank Speaker Johnson, Chairman Rodriguez, and the City Council, the Governor. And as you pointed out, our allies up in Albany, both in the Assembly that passed the bill and in the Senate. We had a lot of allies there as well. And I look at today and I say, today is one of those days where there's a will, there's a way. I look out at so many of my friends and allies with Families for Safe Streets and transportation alternatives. So many of us have spent a lot of time up in Albany trying to make the case about how these speed cameras were so needed. And today, even though we weren't able to succeed in Albany, the city is taking action, and it's an important moment, and I'm so grateful to the city's leadership. DOT will have the cameras ready to go tomorrow for the first day of school, and then look forward to the next round and expansion, because after all, we want to cover all our schools. We want to make sure all our kids are safe. So thank you all for your great leadership.
Thank you. I also want to say in the Department of Government sometimes does work. She will have the cameras ready tomorrow. So thank you very much, Polly, to you and your team. And the commissioner's partner in so much of the work that she does, the chair of the Transportation Committee in the City Council, Councilmember Adonis Rodriguez.
Thank you. Good morning, students, parents, teachers, advocates, and colleagues. As the chairman of the Council Transportation Committee, I'm proud and excited to be standing here today as New York City gets its own speed camera program. In my role as the chairman of the Transportation Committee and working with Speaker Corey Johnson, we have made safety our top priority. Again, I would like to thank Speaker Corey Johnson for his leadership helping to make New York City speed camera program a reality. Thank you for your continued support as I fulfill my role as a chairman of the Transportation Committee and for being a partner in the process of bringing this initiative to a realization. I also want to thank Mayor de Blasio and Governor Cuomo for their leadership and support. Their prompt and sensible action ensured that we would be here today signing this bill into law. I want to give a heartfelt thank you to Family for Safe Street. It doesn't matter how many speed cameras we activate. It doesn't matter how we redesign our street. We will never be able to bring your loved one back to your life. We will never understand the loss that you have with them. After listening to the heartbreaking and tragic testimony of tragic fatality near schools, I'm further committed to improving pedestrians and traffic safety within our city. Thank you to our transportation alternative, Paul. He's someone that we should give him a big round of applause for his leadership. Your commitment for safe transportation, and thank you to all the members, not only of Transportation Alternative, but Family for Safe Street. We will be able to start school as we heard on September 5th, tomorrow, with a speed camera because this city got together and make it happen. The safety and well-being of our students goes beyond party lines. This is not about being Democrat or Republican. It is about the responsibility of all leaders in the city and the state of New York to protect and represent all residents, regardless of their council district, their political affiliation, or any other demographic data. The New York City Speed Camera Program enables the city to have more enforcement discretion to save more lives. According to the city's Department of Transportation, the Speed Camera Program proves highly effective at deterring speeding. Speeding during school hours at camera location dropped 63%. The speed cameras will help eliminate traffic fatalities and enable more enforcement. They are essential in our fight against hit and runs. We also need to look to the future and decide how we want to create more sustainable, walkable, livable urban environment. One death is too many deaths. Every year, on average, there are 200 deaths due to traffic collisions. I will be working with the speaker, the mayor, the DOT commissioner to call for better and smarter street design in school zones. Now that we are expanding the numbers of cameras and hours of operation, we should have a speed camera in around every single school in New York City. Nosotros vamos a trabajar con el vocero Corey Johnson, con el alcalde de Blasio, con con la comisionada de DOT, la policía y los legisladores en Albany para asegurarnos no solamente que se reactiven las cámaras que dan tickets a los choferes que manejan a exceso de velocidad, pero asegurarnos que alrededor de cada escuela haya una cámara. Asegurarnos de que todas las intersecciones cerca de las escuelas sean seguras para los peatones y los ciclistas. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And now I want us to hear from our partners in labor. And again, these two individuals have spent literally their lifetime serving our children and understand what it means to keep them safe. And when we talk about speed cameras, just like the parents here see their children, these two gentlemen see the thousands of children that they have worked with over many, many years. First, the president of the UFT, Michael Mulgrew.
First, I would like to thank the mayor, the governor, and Speaker Johnson for getting this done. It was sad at the end of session last year that this did not get done, and we knew it was a crass political calculation. But we figured it out. We figured it out, and I cannot tell you how important it was. The most vital piece of this entire debate has been the advocates. You've kept everyone honest. You kept pushing everyone's feet, kept their feet to the fire. And the fact that I felt we failed you because we could not get this done during the session, I am now happy to be here today and saying it got figured out, and it's done because of your work. So thank you for everything that you did.
Amen.
As a teacher who had to go through a student being killed coming to school, I understand the devastation it brings to a school community. As a parent and as a union leader for teachers, I don't understand why New York City was being told by the Senate Republicans that we didn't have a right to do what was in the best interest of our children. It's our schools. Schools have opened since mid-August across the United States of America, and you can see almost all of those school communities, they have complete lockdown speed zones around every one of their schools. It is not that it is politically not popular. It's only popular with those who we want it not to be popular with. The facts are simple. This saves children's lives. The facts are simple. This saves a lot of heartache, distress, anxiety, and depression from school communities and families that have to be involved with these horrendous situations. And what happened in Albany was they made a political calculation that the facts be damned, that it was in their political interest to say no to the parents and the communities of New York City. And now today we get to tell them, too bad, you didn't win. But we are not done yet, because this work will not be done until, as the Councilman Rodriguez just said, until every school in New York City has a safe zone barrier completely around it. So thank you all for what you have done today.
And now representing all of the principals who take care of our kids every day, all the assistant principals, all the administrators, my pleasure to welcome Mark Cannizzaro, President of the CSA.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. There we go. So as the former principal of a middle school in an extremely busy area, two major intersections, I would worry constantly at dismissal time when 1,600 children were exiting my building at the same exact time every day. And I really need to thank our governor, our Mayor de Blasio, Speaker Johnson, Chairman Rodriguez, as well as the brave families who have come here today in their pain and suffering to make sure that this does not continue to happen repeatedly over and over again in our schools. This was a common sense decision, and I was beginning to become very concerned that common sense would not prevail before the first day of school. But due to your advocacy, due to your pushing, due to this group here working as a team with the governor's support, I am extremely pleased, in fact, ecstatic to know that these speed cameras will be up and running tomorrow. And I echo the chairman's statement that we should have a camera at every single school in New York City. It does save lives. It will save lives. So thank you for the common sense solution that I was beginning to concern wouldn't happen. And of course, to all of you, thank you and for being so brave and stepping up. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much, Mark. As we conclude this hearing, I want to note that we've all achieved something here today, but also we hear tremendous unity to take the next step together and to work for the day when we are sure every child, every family will be safe. Thank you all for all you have done. God bless you, and this hearing is now adjourned. Thank you.